Have you ever wondered why, living in the same world, some people understand money, while others fight with it their whole lives? Why do some people earn a lot but never feel safe, while others earn less and live peacefully? If money was just math, the most educated people would be the richest. If it was just about hard work, the hardest workers would be the wealthiest. So, is money a game of knowledge or a game of luck? The psychology of money says money is not math or an IQ test. Money is a behavior, a mindset, and a mental game. Today, the book we are talking about is The Psychology of Money. It is written by Morgan Housel, an author who didn't just teach how to make money, but explained why people don't behave with money the way they should. And yes, if you want to read this book yourself, I have given the link in the description. Friends, in this audiobook summary, we will understand all the chapters of this book with stories, examples, and real-life thinking. But before moving forward, I want to tell you that if you truly want to understand money, want peace with money, and want to change your financial life, then definitely listen to this audiobook summary until the end. If you are new to Book Byte Audio, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon so that every new audiobook summary reaches you. Because what you hear here won't teach you how to get rich in a month, but it will teach you how to not let money become the master of your life and how you can become the master of your money. In this audiobook summary, we will learn why more money doesn't guarantee more happiness, why patience is the biggest weapon for building wealth, why we shouldn't fear risk but understand it, and why financial success is mostly a psychological game, not an intelligence one. This book teaches us that money is made in your mind before it is made in your bank account. So let's begin this journey. A journey where we won't understand numbers, but human thinking. A journey where being rich doesn't just mean having more money, but having financial peace. Chapter 1, No one is crazy. We often think that people who make bad financial decisions are careless or don't understand money. But the psychology of money says no one is crazy about money. Every person makes decisions based on their own experiences. For example, two people of the same age and salary might act differently. One saves money, fears risk, and wants security. The other saves less, takes risks, and wants growth. From the outside, you might say one is right and the other is wrong, but the book says both are right in their own world of experiences. Morgan says we make financial decisions based on our life stories, not facts. If someone has seen inflation or job insecurity, safety is most important to them. If someone has seen growing markets, taking risks feels normal. This difference is not about knowledge, it is about memory. Textbooks don't understand emotions, but humans make decisions using emotions. That is why financial success depends more on behavior than IQ. People lose money in the stock market because they get scared, become greedy, or apply other people's stories to their own lives. Stop judging others' decisions and stop comparing your decisions with others. Financial success is not a race, it is a personal journey. Chapter 2, Luck and Risk. Humans want to see success as a straight line. If someone is successful, we say they worked hard. If they fail, we say they made a mistake. But Morgan says luck and risk play a much bigger role in success and failure than we admit. Luck works quietly in the background. Bill Gates is considered a genius, but if he was born 5 years earlier, would he be the same Bill Gates? In 1968, he got access to a computer, which was luck, but his hard work and skill also played a part. On the other hand, many hard-working people fail because risk is always present. Luck can pull you up, and risk can push you down, and you cannot control either of them. You can only control your behavior and decisions. That is why humility is important in financial planning. When people think their success is only because of their intelligence, they get overconfident and ignore risks. Market doesn't care about anyone's intelligence. The book teaches us to recognize luck and respect risk. Chapter 3, Never Enough. Very few people in history had everything: money, power, respect, and still lost it all because they never felt they had enough. Morgan says the most dangerous words in the money world are just a little more. Jesse Livermore was a great stock trader who made billions, but he was never satisfied. He kept taking more risks, lost everything, and committed suicide. The enemy of wealth is not poverty, it is greed without limits. If you don't define what is enough, money makes you its slave. The first step to financial success is defining enough. Enough means you don't take risks out of fear or ego, and you are not a slave to the market or comparisons. Today, social media makes us compare our lives with others, so our definition of enough keeps changing. Ambition without limits becomes self-destruction. If you don't know when to stop, the market will stop you. Chapter 4, Compounding. We often see wealth as a fast race, but real wealth is built slowly over time. The most powerful weapon in this game is compounding. Its effect is very slow at first, but then it grows incredibly fast. Warren Buffett is a great investor, but most of his wealth was made in his later years because he started early and stayed invested. His real power was patience, not just genius. Compounding is hard to understand because our brains think in straight lines. People want quick profits and end up leaving the long-term game. Compounding breaks when people panic and exit the market. Morgan says, time in the market is more important than timing the market. People waste years trying to perfectly time the market, but average decisions made over a long time give extraordinary results. Compounding also works in habits and relationships. Chapter 5, Getting Wealthy vs. Staying Wealthy. Many people make money, but the world is full of stories of people who made money and then lost it. Making money requires brains and courage, but keeping money requires patience and character. To get wealthy, you need to take risks, but staying wealthy needs a completely different mindset. The goal is not to win the most, but to not get kicked out of the game. You need to survive financially. The most money is made by staying in the market the longest, not by getting the highest returns. Morgan says to build a margin of safety, extra savings, less risk, and a simpler lifestyle. Ego makes people lose money. The real purpose of wealth is not showing off, it is freedom, control, and continuity. The person who thinks long-term stays long-term. Chapter 6, Tails. You win. We think success means being right every time. But Morgan says success means being very right just a few times. The market does nothing most of the time, but sometimes rare moments happen, called tails events. Amazon, Google, Apple, and Microsoft got their massive success from a few extraordinary winning periods. You don't have to be right every time, you just have to stay in the game when history is made. Even successful investors like Warren Buffett have many failed investments, but they accept losses and give time to the winners. There is no perfect strategy without boring periods or losses. To catch these rare events, the most important skill is patience. Wealth is not built by daily perfection, but by rare excellence. Chapter 7, Freedom. People think money buys big houses and luxury cars. But actually, money buys freedom. Freedom means doing what is meaningful to you, saying no when you want to, and controlling your own time. Control over time is the most expensive currency in modern life. Wealth spent to impress others never makes you free. As you buy more things, responsibilities and pressure grow, and freedom gets left behind. Freedom comes from reducing expenses, ego, and unnecessary risks. If wealth doesn't give you freedom, it is just a game of numbers. The richest person is not the one with the most money, but the one with the most control. Chapter 8, Man in the Car Paradox. We think that if we have a nice car or an expensive lifestyle, people will respect us. But Morgan says people don't look at the driver in the fancy car, they just picture themselves in it. This is the paradox. You spend money to get attention, but the attention goes to your things, not you. Status is what you show, but wealth is what you don't show. Money spent on status stops you from building real wealth. Status costs you stress, pressure, and comparisons. Real wealth is unseen. It is savings, investments, and financial freedom. People who live simply and don't try to impress are usually in more control. Wealth is built quietly, while status makes noise. When you stop trying to impress others, your freedom grows. Chapter 9, Wealth is what you don't see. We judge wealth by expensive cars and vacations. But wealth is actually the money that is not spent. When someone buys a luxury car, that money is no longer available to become future wealth. Spending is visible, savings are not. Truly wealthy people look average and avoid lifestyle inflation. We want to see and feel wealth, but wealth is about having options. Wealth gives you the option to quit a job or say no. Rich means making a high current income, but wealth means accumulated assets that keep you safe over a long time. Wealth is not built in a day, it takes continuous saving, boring investments, discipline, and time. The real purpose of wealth is control and freedom. Chapter 10, Save Money. When we talk about saving, people always ask about the returns. But the biggest benefit of saving is not returns, it is independence. Savings give you choices in the future so you don't have to compromise or panic. Saving is silent and boring, while spending is exciting. But boring things build wealth. Your saving rate is more important than returns because it is in your control. Saving is accepting that the future is uncertain and bad luck happens. The first step of saving is an emergency fund. We should save at least 10% of our monthly income. This money stops you from making bad decisions out of fear when emergencies happen. Save enough so you don't have to make decisions out of fear. Chapter 11, Reasonable vs. Rational. We think we must be perfectly rational and use cold logic with money. But it is more important to be reasonable. A reasonable person makes decisions that allow them to sleep peacefully at night. Humans are not perfectly rational. They have emotions, fear, and greed. If a strategy is too hard emotionally, it will fail practically. The best financial plan is the one that lets you sleep at night. Reasonable people don't take extreme risks. They keep things simple and play the long-term game. Wealth is a long journey, so be sensible enough to stick to your decisions for a long time. Chapter 12, Surprise. We think studying history will tell us the future. But history is incomplete. History is written by survivors, so it mostly shows success stories and makes us overconfident. We see the success of Amazon and Apple, but not the thousands of failed startups. The future will always bring surprises, new technologies, wars, or pandemics. Past patterns are helpful, but not guaranteed. We cannot predict the future, so we must prepare for it. Prepare by having emergency funds, a margin of safety, and avoiding overconfidence. Learn from history, but don't blindly trust it. Chapter 13, Room for Error. We plan our lives assuming income, health, and markets will be steady. But life runs on unexpected events. Every financial plan must have room for error. This doesn't mean making mistakes. It means you can survive if things go wrong. If your plan is too tight, a small problem like a medical emergency can destroy everything. A margin of safety gives you the power to stay calm and not make decisions out of fear. It gives you time to recover and adapt. Conservative planning is a strength because it allows you to survive long term. Build enough safety so that one mistake doesn't end your entire journey. Chapter 14, Happiness. We chase money, hoping it will fix everything and give us a better life. But money is only useful when it increases your happiness. Happiness is not luxury, it is sleeping peacefully, having control of your time, and not taking decisions out of fear. Money buys happiness up to a limit, but after that, it just buys pressure. If you don't know what enough is, happiness won't stay. The purpose of wealth is not to impress others, but to make your life easier. The best use of money is living a good life where you don't panic, don't race with others, and don't fear the future. If money gives you peace and freedom, you are on the right path. Chapter 15, Sad bills. Money looks like numbers, but it is often attached to sad stories. Sad bills are expenses for medical emergencies or losses. These are expenses you don't make happily by choice. When someone pays these bills, they are not just spending money, they are dealing with heavy emotions. If you have experienced pain, your money psychology changes and you become scared of risks, which is self-protection. Emergency funds act as an emotional shield during difficult times. Money acts as a shock absorber when life gives you a blow. It doesn't end the pain, but it makes the pain manageable. Life isn't fair, but good financial behavior protects us from breaking completely. Conclusion: if you have listened to this audiobook summary carefully till here, congratulations. You are one of the few people who don't take money lightly and truly want to understand it. This book is not about money, but the psychology of money. It's not about how much you earn, but how you behave after you get money. Money doesn't change you, it shows who you truly are. If you have fear, money makes it bigger. If you have patience, money rewards it. The book can be said in one line: money in the right hands is a tool, and in the wrong hands, a stress machine. Right hands are those connected with patience, humility, and self-awareness. Money is not the goal of life, it is a tool to manage life. I hope you liked this audiobook summary. Tell us in the comments section which chapter you liked the most. We will meet again with another great audiobook summary. Until then, take care, stay healthy, and stay happy.